Hi, my name's Jo Patterson. I'm an ESOL lecturer at Edinburgh College, and I'm just going to do a very short video on using the free software Book Creator to make online resources for ESOL literacy students. This is a short version of the webinar that I did for NATECLA Scotland earlier in the year. Okay then, first of all, let me introduce you to Book Creator. So this is my online library of books that I've made using Book Creator. So first of all, I'll show you some of the books, then I'll show you how to make a book online. So I work with ESOL literacies learners a lot of the time. So not only are they learning language, they're learning to read in quite often a different script, or potentially they haven't had as much formal education or any, so that they're learning to read maybe for the first time in any language. So here are some resources that I've made. Rooms and Furniture, a very, very simple book with pictures. So in the past, I would have gone into the classroom, I would have printed up pictures of different rooms in the house and used that as a resource. I've made the same thing really on Book Creator, but why is this so useful for our students? Well, with literacies learners, you can often end up with lots and lots of pieces of paper. Pieces of paper that literacies learners quite often are not filing and not looking at again. So by making an online book, you can use these pictures and send them via WhatsApp or an email. And the students can access these pictures on their phone. These pictures can be used to generate vocabulary, ask questions, or write information as well. So a lot can be done by generating pictures, by using these pictures to generate ideas rather. And the students can take this in many directions. You could easily start with just start with vocabulary. What's in the room? Can they tell you what's in the room? And then can they choose to write some of the words of the objects in the room? Another thing with literacies learners and all learners really can be identifying how letters combine to make sounds. So this book is very simply the sound A. I haven't used any symbols here. I've just written down AY for that A sound. And with Book Creator, I can record myself saying the sound, and I can use pictures and audio for students to hear different words with the sound A. So that's just quite a simple idea too. But as I say, it has pictures and audio. And then I've made a couple of books based on students' interests, really, bringing in a little bit of financial literacies here. What do you spend your money on every month? So we can go through with large pictures and audio as well, so that students can listen to and copy the words and use them again, hopefully. Equally, there's Education in Scotland, which came about by students asking me how the system in Scotland worked. So many students have children, but they weren't sure of the different stages of schools. And by using a resource like this, a student who is learning to write in English, who doesn't write in her first language, was able to say primary school. She said she listened to the audio many times over and now could say and write the words. She's got children at primary school, but she said up until that point that she'd never been able to do that before. So again, the fact that they're online books, that you can look at them on your phone, maybe when you're on the bus, means there's an element of privacy in the practice that you're doing too. Equally here with a volunteer, a student in class made a guide to the months in English and Arabic. So with students working at higher levels, they can make books independently, get their own book creator account. But with literacies learners, here are the the months of the year with the audio in both English and Arabic. And the student herself selected these pictures from the pictures that I'll show you that are available on Book Creator. Another couple of options here are on a walk to the park. Students were able to point out things they saw in the park, things and people, children playing, flowers, and then we made this up into a book using the stock photographs that are available on Book Creator. So this just brought to life, rather than saying at this level, students can't know a word as complex as squirrel because they should be learning in a more systematic way. This allows them to access language for words that they actually want to know in an environment that they're frequently in. Also, another example here, My Edinburgh A to Z. This was based on an Edinburgh Council project many moons ago, A to Z of Leith. And as you can see here, students could work together. I haven't tried this yet, but this is a possibility. Students could work together, take photographs, and assemble their own A to Z with vocabulary here. As you can see, we've got the audio file and a beautiful image of an apple. But here we go, you can also add your own photographs, which arguably make it more, well, not arguably, definitely makes it more real for your students. A lot of photographs that are available online are extremely glossy, but they don't represent students' lives. This is a very typical street in Leith with all the recycling bins in the background. And that's what a bike in Edinburgh looks like today. So these photographs, if you upload photographs that your students have taken or that you've taken, then you have a very, very nice book that represents the life and the area that they're living in. Okay, so there are some of the books that it's possible to make. Let me just show you how to make a book then. I've logged in. You can log in to Book Creator at bookcreator.com and you can sign in with your Google account. With giving a little bit of information, you can sign in with any account, but you can sign directly in with a Google account. So this is a free resource, which means that Book Creator will be using your data somehow. However, you can pay for a subscription. However, the work that you make is private to you. It isn't shared out with, and it is only shared with students if you share a link, students or anyone else for that matter, if you share a link with them. So if you go to bookcreator.com and sign in, you'll reach a page like this and you'll have a blank couple of library shelves. To start making a new book, click on New Book here. Choose the shape of the book that you'd like to make. You could choose landscape, for example, or just more conventional portrait format here. And you can see here it says at the top that this is the cover page. This is the first page that students will see. And little arrows either side allow you to click through the book so that you can be reading from left to right and turning the pages, which gives your students a feel for reading from left to right, top to bottom, if that's not how they read in their first language. Okay, very crucial here, we've got the plus button and here we've got the I button as well. So plus to add an item. What I can do here is I can add the title, for example, by clicking on text, I can add the title Edinburgh. I wouldn't need to bold it because I'm going to use a font which appears to be quite bolded itself anyway. Click on done. And then I can go to the inspector, the I icon, and alter things. So I can alter the size of the text. In training I was on not too long ago, I was told that size 40 is great for a phone. If you're working with higher level learners, that might be impossible, but with literacies learners, the larger the text, the better. Also, you can choose a font. And for me, I'm looking for a sans serif font. They don't have Comic Sans, but this works quite similarly. I find Patrick Hand. So if you scroll down and use Patrick Hand, it has a handwritten feel with simple A's and clear, non-printed letters. They're more like simple handwriting, which can be useful. Add an item. I can also add an image. So if I click on image, I can search for non-copyrighted pictures on Google. So if I type in Edinburgh, I'm going to be lucky. There are a lot of Edinburgh photographs that I can use. So if I click on this picture, I can add the picture. No downloading and uploading files, although you can do that if you're using your own photographs. I quite like the size, so I'm going to leave it like that. I can also go, if I click, make sure I'm away from the picture, click on the eye, and I can change the background. You can have quite exciting backgrounds with using comics, which might be great with primary school children or young learners, but I tend to use pastel backgrounds, which cause less visual stress for ESOL literacies learners. But you have a wide range there. You can add in borders as well. So if I'm happy with my first page, I can click onto the next page. And importantly here, you've got pages 2 and 3 of 3. So when I start adding images here, you may even be able to see it. There's a faint spine between the 2 pages, and you'll need to resize images and move audio files and text to make it sit properly on one page. So first of all, I can change the background by going to Eye Inspector. Then I can add things. I can add another image from Edinburgh, say Edinburgh Castle. Actually, Edinburgh Castle, let's see what else we've got. Edinburgh. So what we've got for Edinburgh. There we go. So I could add in a Piper if I wanted to. Choose that one. As you can see, the picture's huge. By clicking on it, I can resize it using the blue circles at the corners of the picture. So, and there you can see I've got pink lines coming up to show me basically where the 2 pages join and to level things up. So I can do that. Click on add again, add some text. I can put a Piper. Done. Move it to where I want it to be. And then if I go to Inspector, I can make the font larger and I can change it to Patrick Hand. There we go. To add an audio file, simply go to Camera, and you see you can take a picture or you can record a video. Apologies, I don't want to record a video. I just wanted an audio clip there. So here we go at the bottom. Rather than using Camera for images or a video, I can use record. Click on record at the bottom and you get this orange tab here, top right, to click on start recording. I am not using a microphone plugged into my laptop. It will work fine without. It should do. If you have any difficulties, you could plug in a microphone. Piper. So 3, 2, 1, and then I start recording, and I can click here to use the recording and move the recording where I'd like it to be. You can see that when you choose a recording, you can listen to it again by clicking on the black arrow for play. And if you don't want it, just discard it. Just don't use it and re-record. Equally, I could get rid of this, I think, by right-clicking it, cut it. I'll just show you that again. So click on record, start recording. It's going to count in 3, 2, 1. A piper. And there we go, use recording if I'm happy with that. But I can always delete it, and I can delete it when I've added it anyway. So there we go, I'll move that down to here. So those are some basic features of Book Creator. You can add as much text as you'd like to. You can add videos, as we saw, by clicking on the camera option. I'm a bit shy and I don't really want to record a video, but you can do that. So if I'm finished with that, I can press this little play book, read the book. You can see here that you've got the option of read to me. So if we start on the first page by using these arrows, but read to me is a pretty good text to sound app now. It will read itself, but if you wanted to add learner voices, or you wanted to use accents that are authentic in the area where you're living and working, then you can add an audio file. And then we go, so it will read to you, and then you click through the arrows and you're reading a book. You've reached the end of the book, read again. So very straightforward. By sending a link to someone's phone, you can they can do this simply by scrolling through the pages. So how do you share this book? So if I go back to, might want to edit, and I go to my books, you can see that Edinburgh's been added. So first of all, I need to publish the book. Don't worry, publishing the book does not mean that you are going to publish it universally on the web. The only people who will see this are people who have links. So if you click on the little dots bottom right of the book, you can click on share. And you can see here, you take the option of publish online. Simply click publish online. Who can find this book? You've got the setting already is private. You can give the book the title Edinburgh. And you can allow people to edit this book. So if you allow remixes, you're allowing students or other teachers to edit the book. If it's off, they can't edit the book, they can only read it. So if I click on publish online, and there we go, I can copy the link. And you can see it said copy to clipboard, and then I can simply add this into WhatsApp or into an email. So if I just do that very, very quickly, I don't think that's too much for you to think about there. But if I go into my work emails, click on Outlook, email, well, you know how to do Outlook, so I don't need to tell you if you use it. Here's my email, and if I just click within the email, you can see there I've just pasted that link directly to the book. I say you can send it via email or via WhatsApp by using WhatsApp Web, the laptop version or PC version of WhatsApp. So yes, that's just a little take on what you can do with Book Creator. I'm sure the creative people that you are, you'll have lots and lots of other ways that you can use this brilliant resource. So thanks a lot for your time. Okay then.